Hey everyone! Welcome to the 9th and final episode of the Learning Python series. In today's episode, we will be reviewing what we have learned in this course. Let's get started! For our review, I'm going to be reviewing 8 topics: variables, lists, operators, dictionaries, 2D lists, if statements, while loops, and lastly input. So first, let's start off with variables. So I'm going to create a variable with a value that's a string. So I'm going to say word is equal to hello. Now let's print out this variable. So print in a set of regular parentheses and then the name of the variable, which is word. Now let's run this code. So now it prints out hello. Next, let's go on to lists. So I'm going to create a sample list that's about food. So food is equal to, and make sure to use square brackets for a list. So square brackets, and then I'm going to enter some food items. So pizza, burger, and cake. So now let's print out this list. So print and the name of the list, which is food. And now let's run this code, and it prints out pizza, burger, and cake. Next, let's go on to operators. So I'm going to test out an addition operator and a subtraction operator. So let's do print 6 plus 6. So the operator in this example is the plus sign. So when we run this code, it should print out 12. So let's run this code, and it prints out 12. Now let's use the subtraction operator. So print 10 minus 8. And when we run this code, it prints out 2, because 10 minus 8 is 2. Next, let's move on to dictionaries. So I'm going to create a dictionary that has random values, so random dict. Then you need an equal sign and then a set of curly brackets. Make sure that it's curly brackets, not regular parentheses or square brackets. Then go inside those curly brackets and press enter. We're going to put our key value pairs inside this space. So now let's create our key value pairs and make sure to separate them by commas. So food, pizza, comma, number, colon, 1, comma, logical value, colon, true. And this is my random dictionary. Now I'm going to print this out. So print and then the name of our dictionary, which is random dict. So when we run this code, it prints out food, pizza, number 1, logical value, true. Next, let's go on to 2D lists. So I'm going to create a 2D list named 2D list. And I'm going to put an equal sign and then the set of outer square brackets. Then go inside those outer square brackets and press enter. Here's where we are going to type in our inner square brackets separated by commas, just like dictionaries. So here's my first inner list, and I'm going to put a few string values. And then I'm going to put a comma, press enter, and then I'm going to create another inner list, this time with numbers. And then another comma, press enter, and then this time with logical values, so true, false. Next, let's go out of this outer list and print the 2D list. So print and then the name of the 2D list, which in this case is 2D list. So when you run this code, it prints out ABC123 true, false. Basically, it prints out our 2D list. Next, let's go on to if statements. So for our if statement, I'm going to be comparing a variable's integer value with another integer value. So first I'm going to create the variable. So var is equal to 5. And then now I'm going to create our if statement. So if var is equal to 6, print equal to 6. Else, or let's do an elif statement. So elif var is less than 6, print less than 6. And then now let's do an else statement. So else print some other value. So if we did our code properly, it should print out less than 6 because our variable here is equal to 5 and 5 is less than 6, so it should print out less than 6. And that's what it prints out. Next, let's go on to while loops. So for our while loop, I'm going to be creating a number. So num is equal to 1. And then now let's create our while loop. So I'm going to do while num is less than 5, print less than 5, and then I'm going to increase num by 1 every time the while loop repeats. So num is equal to num plus 1. Now when we run this code, it should print out less than 5 4 times, because after 4 times, num is actually 5, and 5 is equal to 5, not less than 5. So it's not going to print out less than 5 anymore. The while loop comes to an end. And lastly, let's go on to the input topic. So I'm going to be creating a variable called name is equal to input. And inside the input statement, I'm going to type in what is your name. Then I'm going to use concatenation, so I'm going to print out hello, comma, name. So now when we run this code, it asks you, what is your name? And then you can type in your name. And then it says, hello, AKCoder. And now we've come to the end of this beginner Python series. I will be starting an intermediate Python series next, which will contain the next level of Python concepts. Make sure to check that out. And if you like this series, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon!